This is just a disgusting human being. I don't know how better to describe this worm of a person. I do not see why people look up to him. I do not see why people think that he's a good person, why he's a good role model. It's actually kind of fucking gross. I knew it was a thing I was going to have to cover eventually. I haven't covered as much Andrew Tate as I really should have in my time here on the internet.com. But recently, Andrew Tate was convicted in a Romanian court for, well, let's, we'll get into it. We'll get into it. I'll just go ahead and say that. We'll get into it. But before we get into that, let's get into the fan art section. This one is from Sakura Didn't Catch Who Wanted a Sandwich. Yes, the bun is coated in bits. This is what chat meant by that, right? Which one of you filthy degens asked for a sandwich? Jesus Christ. The next one we have here is from Envy is My God. I just started watching Suris because my friend sent me a few videos, but I like the slime avatars and the cute little cat burgers in some of the videos a lot. Aww. Well, thank you, Envy, and also, welcome to the channel. Hopefully you stay a while. As always, thank you, everybody, for your fan art submissions. If you want your fan art to be shown in a future video, the best way to do so is to drop it in the fan art section of the Discord. With that all said, let's go ahead and get into today's topic. There's two things I want to point out. First one is this tweet that Andrew Tate retweeted from Laya Halpern, that said it's not okay for Andrew Tate to inspire young boys to be strong, but it's okay for Cardi B and Nicki Minaj to encourage young girls to behave like prostitutes. So here's the thing. If somebody engages in sex work of any kind, be it that making an OnlyFans, being an independent creator on like Pornhub, or, you know, going into prostitution, regardless of which angle they choose, at least they chose that. Now, much like with many things in capitalism, there can be an argument made that that choice comes at the bed of coercion, and I can agree with that, but again, by that logic, all jobs in our current system should be eliminated, because most of them are based on some form of coercion. But on the other side of that perspective is the conversation about Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate does more than inspire young boys to be strong. He inspires them to be assholes, misogynists, selfish pricks, violent people. That's the type of stuff that Andrew Tate inspires in others. It's not just that he's teaching kids to be strong. He's teaching them to be the exact type of backwards asshole that we do not need in our society. The other tweet I want to look at before getting into the topic at hand is this other one from Andrew Tate saying, anyone who believes I'm a human trafficker is a moron. Anyone smart enough to understand the American system is unfair would be mind blown by the injustice of the Romanian system. So, I don't know how to tell you, Andrew, but we can both have an unjust system, and that system can sometimes be correct in the way it throws down its hammer on you. Both of those things can be true. And in this case, I would believe that they both are. But let's get into the conversation at hand. Let's get into the actual topic. A Romanian court upholds Andrew Tate's arrest on human trafficking charges. A court in Romania's capital, Bucharest, has upheld the 30-day arrest of divisive social media personality and self-described misogynist Andrew Tate on charges of organized crime, human trafficking, and rape, an official said late on Tuesday. Romana Bala, a spokesperson for Romanian anti-organized crime agency DICOT, said the court rejected an appeal by Tate against the judge's earlier decision to extend his arrest from 24 hours to 30 days. Tate, who's 36, is a British United States citizen who has 4.5 million followers on Twitter, who was initially detained on December 29th for 24 hours after along with his brother Tristan, who was charged in the exact same case. 2 Romanian women were also taken into custody. The Bucharest Court of Appeal late Tuesday rejected all 4 appeals against the judge's December 30th decision to grant prosecutors' request to extend the arrest period. A document explaining the judge's earlier decision said the possibility of them evading investigations cannot be ignored. and that they could leave Romania and settle it in countries that do not allow extradition. Tate and the other 3 defendants arrived at the Bucharest court in handcuffs Tuesday morning and were taken away in the afternoon, hours before the court ruled against them. Tate, a former professional kickboxer who reportedly lived in Romania since 2017, was previously banned from various prominent social media platforms for expressing misogynistic views and hate speech. The week of his arrest, he traded insults on Twitter with teenage climate activist Greta Thunberg. Tate said that it had identified 6 victims in the trafficking case who were subjected to acts of physical violence and mental coercion, and were sexually exploited by the members of the alleged crime group. That is, quite a thing. Quite a fucking thing. And really, really gross. But let's continue. The agency said victims were lured by pretenses of love and later intimidated, kept under surveillance, and subjected to other control tactics while being coerced into performing pornographic acts that were intended to make money for their alleged persecutors. Prosecutors investigating the case have seized 15 luxury cars, at least 7 of which were owned by the Tate brothers, and more than 10 properties or land owned by the companies registered to them, which is what Tate spokesperson Bala said. I'm going to break away from that real quick because this lovely article from 15 hours ago, Romanian police seize luxury cars from Andrew Tate's property. I hate to tell you, if you were to be like that Andrew Tate fan that came in and said, well, what color is your Bugatti? Andrew Tate's answer would have to be probably brown or probably gray. I don't know, whichever color the pavement happens to be stained that day, because it just doesn't have to be a car there anymore. Oof. How does one afford that many sports cars with just 6? Oh, that's 6 victims that they found. That doesn't mean that's all of them. Bulla says that if prosecutors can prove that Tate's gained money through human trafficking, the assets will be taken by the state and will cover the expenses of the investigation and damages to the victims. After the appeals court upheld the arrest warrant extension, prosecutors can now request detentions of up to 180 days for the 4 people charged. Since Tate's arrest, a series of ambiguous posts have appeared on his Twitter account. Each tweet garners widespread media attention. One posted Sunday and accompanied by a Romanian report suggested he or his brother have required medical care since their arrest. Read, "The Matrix has attacked me, but they misunderstand. You cannot kill an idea. Hard to kill." Another post from Saturday said, "Going to jail when guilty of a crime is the life story of a criminal. Going to jail when completely innocent is the story of a hero." Hope Not Hate, a UK advocacy group, said it monitored Tate for years because of his close links to the far right. It described the influencer in a report it produced last year as an extreme misogynist who holds conspiratorial views. "Our major concern is that his brand of extreme and sometimes violent misogyny is reaching a young male audience that he could serve as a gateway to far-right politics." Hope Not Hate said in a statement after Tate was banned from Facebook parent media company Meta in August. So, yeah, Tate's a bit of a fucking monster. What's the... what all has happened here? Well, it seems to be that Tate has allegedly, well, or not allegedly, it depends on how you're looking at this from a legal perspective, trafficked women via illegal fraud and coercion in UK and Romania. So unfortunately, this comes from Daily Mail, but we're going to look through it anyway. Andrew Tate told a woman who thought she was going to marry the millionaire misogynist that she was his slave. Prosecutors have reportedly told a Romanian report. The anti-feminist influencer at 36 yesterday lost his appeal bid and will remain in prison along with his brother Tristan and 2 Romanian accomplices after their arrest as part of sex trafficking and rape probes. Romania's organized crime body is said to have shown a transcript to the court of a conversation between Tate and a young woman in his webcam studio. The transcript, seen by local news site Gandul, appears to show Tate using the lover boy method to recruit young women to his online porn operation by luring them with offers of marriage. The alleged victims are promised a life of luxury with Tate, but are instead put up in the video chat room in his Bucharest bolt hole and made to work. The reported transcript claims the self-described misogynist said the woman would have to get a tattoo of his name if he ordered it, and told her, "You'll do whatever I tell you. You're mine forever, no matter what." The woman is heard saying she does not want a tattoo and wants to stay pure, but Tate allegedly responds, "Pure women submit to their men," and claimed 2 other women had tattoos of his name on their body. In a later excerpt, the news outlet claims the ex-Big Brother star says, "If I choose a woman to be my wife, she will love me enough to let me tell her what I want. I will decide if she is a slave. She doesn't make the rules. I am a man. I don't listen to complaints from women. Just trust me and shut up. Don't piss me off again today. It doesn't matter if I call you a slave. It matters that I can if I want to without you being stupid." The transcript also claims the women are made to call Tate our king, and the woman states her discomfort with having to share him with other webcam girls after she was brought to Romania to live with him. Prosecutors also alleged in court filings that Tate refused to let women leave his compound without being escorted by one of his employees, according to WhatsApp messages. In the unearthed messages between Tate and his alleged victims, the infamous misogynist appears to boast about how he runs the operation. The 4 suspects have denied any accusations of criminality, but will remain in prison for at least the duration of the 30-day arrest warrant. The brothers have turned to high-flying British lawyer Andrew Ford, 34, who has been seen entering the courtroom yesterday with the handcuffed pair. According to his LinkedIn biography, he deals with selective clientele who are made up of sports stars and other A-list celebrities and high-net-worth clients. Following the rejection of the appeal yesterday evening, the other attorney, Eugene Viderek, told Mail Online, "I'm very disappointed with the court decision. It seems excessive to me. The court warrant means they'll stay in custody for a full 30 days until the end of January, and then we will look again. Said I'll speak with my clients in the morning and we'll decide what is the best way forward, but they will be as disappointed as me." Tate was initially detained on December 19th for 24 hours, along with Tristan, who was charged in the same case. 2 Romanian women dubbed Tate's angels, one a former policewoman and the other his girlfriend, insofar as that's even a word that means anything in this situation, were also taken into custody. A document explaining the judge's earlier decision said that the possibility of them evading investigations cannot be ignored and that they could leave Romania and settle in countries that do not allow extradition. After Tate lost his appeal, a cryptic post on his Twitter account read, "When Allah said I test only those I love, I took the pain and it was an honor." It was one of several ambiguous posts that appeared on the account since his arrest. You know, for the Daily Mail, this is getting into a lot. And now it's getting into where we are in the other article. His luxury cars have all been taken. The color of his Bugatti is the color of sand. Can you imagine being the type of person to influence people the way Andrew Tate does and just decide that you're going to be the villain all the time? It's kind of gross. So far, we've got a guy who potentially has trafficked a lot of women. Literally, in the transcripts that it shows him lying to women, saying that he will marry them so that they will work for him and become sex workers. And all the women have to share him, and none of them are okay with that because they didn't have the knowledge that that's what was going to happen as they went in. And he even forces people to get body mods they don't want. But there's more to it than that. Andrew Tate messaged underage girls, and one of them was a daughter of prominent Romanian... Let's go. Let's see what this happens. The daughter of a prominent Romanian politician claims disgraced influencer Andrew Tate contacted her and several classmates when they were young teens, trying to lure some with the promise of a date. It said, I was contacted by Andrew Tate when I was 16. I was a bit surprised because I had just made my Instagram account. I had only a couple hundred followers. Tate, a former professional kickboxer and self-proclaimed misogynist, was arrested last week in suspicion of sex trafficking and rape. We already know that. The brothers also allegedly held 2 women against their will in April, 1 American and 1 Romanian, at a villa where they were subjected to physical violence and mental coercion. Gusa, I'm saying that incorrectly probably, the daughter of the Romanian politician and journalist Cosmin Gusa, told Pascal she was suspicious when Tate reached out to her and didn't pursue a conversation with him. Others of her friends, however, did engage with the alleged trafficker. Of course, a lot of girls usually reply because when someone famous with a lot of followers texts you, you're very interested and you want to hear what he has to say. Tate had the reputation among her friends. It was pretty well known that he had a network of young girls. The now 19-year-old said Tate's conversations always began the same way with each girl. Texting Romanian girl and a strawberry emoji. In the beginning, from what I understand, he was very nice to them. He kept inviting them out, but the second the girls stopped answering and engaging with him, he got a bit violent in language. Most of the girls he contacted were very young girls, most of them underage. Some of them 15 and 16 when they were texted. A screenshot shared where she said, this was Tate's typical opening line, "They were so interested in the idea that an older man would text them in the first place." Gusa shared a screenshot of the message from an unidentified Instagram user stating only Romanian girl. The post could not identify if it was sent by Tate. The 19-year-old said she could not understand fans of the dispersed bruiser who stood by him despite the allegations. These are men who are assaulting women, who are forcing them into a life that we cannot imagine. Even if you agree with them on certain issues, you can't look past what they do to so many young girls. Wait, this guy is a PDF file? Yeah, it's so weird. We might be able to open Andrew Tate in Adobe Acrobat Reader. So weird. So strange. I just don't know how to feel about it. But, don't worry. It gets worse. Don't worry, guys. We got more.
You didn't like that I was thinking I can do whatever I want to. That's what it is. I'm the smartest person on this planet.
That's a voice recording controversial influencer Andrew Tate allegedly sent a woman in 2015. That audio, along with disturbing messages reading, quote, "I loved raping you," are now coming to light as Tate faces sex trafficking charges overseas. Vice World News published the messages and voice notes allegedly made by Tate. We want to warn you, they may be disturbing to some.
Am I a bad person? Because the more you didn't like it, the more I enjoyed it. I f***ing loved how much you hated it. Turned me on.
Tate, known worldwide for his millions of Twitter followers and controversial beliefs, recently made headlines for his arrest in Romania. He's now being held on charges of organized crime, human trafficking, and rape. Just this week, he was denied release from detention, and from here, prosecutors can request Tate's detention be upped from 30 days to 180 days behind bars.
I hope it does.
But this isn't Tate's first tangle with the law. Back in 2015, he was arrested in the United Kingdom after his accuser provided investigators with this voice recording and violent WhatsApp messages he allegedly sent her.
Are you seriously so offended I strangled you a little bit? You didn't f***ing pass out? Chill the f*** out. Jesus Christ, I thought you were cool. What's wrong with you?
The accuser included a message apparently sent from Tate reading, quote, "I loved raping you." Tate...
You're only upset I strangled you a little bit. That feels like he wants to argue it was BDSM or some shit.
Was arrested on suspicion of sexual assault and physical abuse after two separate accusers came forward. In 2019, prosecutors dropped that case.
And if I had actually hurt anybody, the Romanian police would have me in jail.
Tate was arrested in Romania in late December as part of a sex trafficking probe. On Thursday, 7 of his houses were searched by authorities. A spokesperson for the Directorate for Investigating Organized Crime and Terrorism said the search took place, quote, "in order to obtain further evidence." Investigators say Tate, his brother, and 2 women coerced 6 women physically and mentally. All 4 suspects are now being held in Romanian jail. Reporting for Long Crime Now.
This is just a disgusting human being. I don't know how better to describe this worm of a person. I do not see why people look up to him. I do not see why people think that he is a good person, why he's a good role model. It's actually kind of fucking gross. Turns out Ravalern just dropped $102 with the words, "The power of compels you. The power of compels you. The power of compels you." I can't say the word that was used, but that's what was said. So I can't close out the video until I at least acknowledge that that happened. But that is also enough money to force me to say it, so, yeah, I guess I will have to say it. Ravalern, you did pay the canonical price. Oh, whoa. I can't give you more enthusiasm than that. I'm being coerced by Ravalern to say terrible words on the internet. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Hopefully none of you think Tate's a good person. Or Ravalern, for that matter. For that. Let me know what you think down there. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, everybody, insert end of video tagline here.